Welcome back to My Time. I am Daniel Tinch, and joined as always by my good friend Zach Sayre. How are you doing tonight, Zach?
I'm doing great, Big Dan. I'm pumped to be here. I hope you guys at home are excited for this
New format.
new format.
Little bracketology.
Little bracketology, little video. Welcome to the Matt Time AAA bracket show.
This is the most exciting time of the year.
It is. I love it.
Start talking
Like a
about
little
some,
kid on Christmas Eve, man.
Oh, we're
It's just-
getting close. Getting close. Inside a week now. I just want to talk some brackets. But before we do, don't you have something to say, Zach?
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to our partners, Chain Wrestling. Got the Chain Wrestling mug, got the Matt Time mug. Of course, you can see here in the video. I got my Matt Time hoodie on. Big Dan's got his Matt Time T-shirt on.
There's a hat somewhere.
There's a hat, beanies, long
got a
sleeves,
beanie.
crew neck. There's anything you want, you can get it at chainwrestling.co. Click on partners, go to Matt Time. You can see the whole collection there. Chain Wrestling, join the chain. Created by athletes for athletes, cultivated for the uncommon, apparel for the everyday grind.
Yes, it is.
Chain
It's good
Wrestling.
stuff.
Big shout out to Ethan and Grant.
Yeah, saw
Excited
some
to
of
be a
that
part of the
stuff.
chain.
Saw
so-
some of it at the youth state tournament. Even.
Yep. Yeah,
good
WYWA. Saw Isaac Martin repping. I've seen multiple Point Pleasant kids, Carter Price, Gavin Barnett, your daughter,
Yeah, it's good stuff.
everyone rocking Matt Time. So it's
Yeah.
nice to see.
Don't forget, Matt Time 22,
yep.
15% off. That code is
Yep.
still good. So let's get into it.
Yeah,
106.
Let's get into the big show, Big Dan.
Yeah, 106. When you look at the bottom half, I think the bottom half is just an absolute grinder with Bolin, Pettit, and Purdue all down there. So whoever makes it to the finals is going to absolutely earn it for sure, especially because you got Bolin and Pettit going potentially right there in the
quarterfinal
quarterfinals.
matchup. That's a great quarterfinal matchup.
Up top, though, I think Davis has been the best kid in the class all year. I think Davis has earned his reputation as number one. I do think it is his class to lose.
Been won wire to wire thus far.
All year.
Year. Won the OVAC, has just wrestled phenomenally, all season long.
Yeah,
so
2 wins over Pettit. And Pettit's beaten White from Wheeling Park, so it's not like Pettit's any sort of a slouch.
like I said, I'm most curious though, like you, to see who comes out of the bottom bracket. I mean, you got the returning 106-pound state champion, who we called last year, by the way. Shout out to us.
Yeah. That was more
Bolin,
you.
Pettit.
That was more you.
Yeah,
if
that
I
was me.
recall.
Okay, I wasn't gonna brag.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna go, but
You said keep
it was
an eye
me.
on this kid.
I
It's
said
2-0.
I said watch for Dylan Purdue. I said he may come and make some noise, and by golly, he did. But you got him. Like I said, we could have the Pettit Davis. I don't know if it'd be the 4th or 5th time. I can't remember.
They've wrestled a bunch.
They wrestled quite a few times this year. Or bowling. I mean, it's going to be 106 is going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome weight class.
Could get the Purdue Davis rematch, but remember that was wrestled at 113.
113. Yep.
I think they both tried to play the game. And of course, you got High there from Sissonville, who's had himself a nice
he's had a good
season.
year.
Had himself a nice season, Region 4 champ. Could set himself up for he can try to take a shot at the champ there in the semis. But very good weight class. I do think it's Davis's to lose. I don't think it's as wide open as it was last year.
No,
last year 106 was
it was
completely
wide open. I think
open.
last year was totally wide open, and like I said, this year not so much. I think.
Nah, but we got a couple classes like that.
There's a couple weight
We got a
classes that are
couple
totally
classes.
wide open. Just
Yeah.
wide open. So
I can see a series of kids winning those and not be surprised.
yeah.
106, good weight class.
Yeah, I'm excited for 106. It's going to be a good one. All right, well with that, let's go on to 113, Big Dan.
Works for me. Now, all the purists that want to seed everything, they would be thrilled with this weight class because it kind of follows what the coaches have kind of thought, kind of follows what the results have said, where you kind of separate 1, 2, and actually, if you look at it, 3, 4 get separated as well.
Yeah, now 2 and 3 you get potentially in the
right
quarters.
out the gate, yeah.
Yeah, in the quarters. But I mean, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 all separated. The Wood Lamb match is a real intriguing potential quarterfinal.
I think Wismer and Carpenter is really interesting as a quarterfinal too.
Yeah.
From Williamstown. I mean, been ranked, but kid's a solid wrestler.
Yeah.
Very solid wrestler.
Me personally, I like the Paulie Huffman matchup right off the bat.
Right out of the gate, yeah.
Right off the bat, that's a
right down there at the bottom.
That's two previous ranked guys going at it. Then the winner of that's going to potentially get Helmick from Braxton County, champion of Region 2. You know, we've talked about this many a time.
And Lily's looming up there at the top too. Tucker
Yeah.
Lily from Greenbrier
Yeah.
West. He's just sort of
Yeah,
quietly
champion of Region 3.
Yeah,
so.
put together a really nice season, just sort of looming. I think this is one of those classes that's very deep. You can wrestle it 2 or 3 times, kind of see how it plays out, and get different champions every time. I don't think this one is. I don't think there's a clear cut. This is the number 1, number 2, number 3 guy. I think whoever wrestles the best weekend wins it.
Yeah.
And there's some weight classes you can wrestle the best weekend of your life, and you still probably aren't going to win it.
Yeah, still going to finish second.
Just
unfortunately,
because of who's
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, no, and that's just how it is sometimes.
That's just part of wrestling. But yeah, I think 113 is a really exciting weight class to watch. I think the quarterfinals are going to be really good. Again, not to get ahead of ourselves, but it's not the best weight class in terms of quarterfinals, but it's a really good one. A lot of talented kids here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's an exciting weight class. And
Yeah,
I think the semis are going to be flat burners.
Yeah, the semifinals is where things really start to heat up.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little time for the stove to get hot.
And then there's lots of combinations of finalists you could tell me, and I would say.
Oh yeah, wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe.
No, I have who I think is going to final, but you know that's a topic for a different day. But
yeah,
I'm excited to watch 13.
A lot of potential there for different kids to get in the finals for sure. Good weight class. Another one right here, 120.
120. Yeah, right. Something that sticks off to me right off the bat. Clayton Lamb from Oak Glen is back.
And he has a date with potentially Corbin there in the quarters.
Yeah, that's a big matchup.
Which is a really nice.
Potentially, Friday morning there.
Minger pulled the upset special.
Yeah, Minger beat previous number 1. So you have a potential Blessing Morgan matchup in the quarters.
Down at the very, very bottom.
Yeah, in the bottom quadrant of the bottom bracket.
Jones and Good is a really good.
Jones and Good is a great matchup.
matchup.
You know, and then any combination of those 4 in the semis makes for a really good match in that bottom bracket.
And Good and Blessing
Good and Blessing, they met at the
finals.
WSAZ finals.
2-0 match, real good match.
With Blessing winning that one.
And Corbin wrestled Blessing really tough too, a couple of times actually. So I think that Lamb Corbin matchup, if you're there Friday morning,
that's going to be
take
one.
a peek.
Yeah,
take a peek and watch that.
Don't miss that one. Be sure to listen for those names and
don't sleep on Corbin. That kid can wrestle.
Oh yeah.
Again, another weight class where you can give me a combination of finalists, and I'm not going to be surprised. It's a pretty
a lot of great depth here at 120.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of great depth. You know,
and they're tight too. They're tight.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's pretty even at the top.
Sometimes you get a weight class where there's depth, but there's no they're not as great of wrestlers. But these guys can all wrestle.
I'm
you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, sometimes it's just not as high level.
They're all even, but they're not all high level.
Yeah,
I got
this
you.
weight class.
And Earl Jones too. Don't forget Earl Jones from Frankfurt.
Well, you mentioned him. You mentioned him with Good.
I know, but I mean, looming as in.
Oh yeah.
He can find his way out there rather far.
Been ranked all year, and a kid to watch. So
good
120 going to be a good one.
Yeah, like it. Now this is probably it's like 106. There's a clear cut favorite here. I mean, Andrick's clearly the favorite.
Yeah, he's established himself as the front runner.
Yeah, he's
early on.
Mikey Jones is kind of consensus. He was consensus 1 coming in. You know, Andrick got him, pinned him at the Jason. That was a long time ago, though, and Jones has wrestled really well since then. But I think you got a clear 1 here. But that does bring up the point that Jones and Andrick can meet in the semis.
Yeah.
Which is...
Yeah, by virtue of the pill. Like I said, not...
Well, again, that's only an issue assuming the loser of that gets third and the winner wins it.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of moving parts. There's lots of wrestling to win before.
Well, and a lot of times, too, we've discussed, you know, the number 2, quote unquote, loses in the semis and then gets 4th.
Or 5th.
Yeah. So, you know.
I've seen him get 6th.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. So, you know, all the arguments on the pill, like I said, that, you know, different discussion for a different day.
Right.
But, you know, with that happening, though, I think the bottom is very interesting. I think there's a lot of a good potential semifinals. There's some good opening round matches. There's some good quarterfinal matches.
Samson and Zambati.
Initially, right off the bat, is a good matchup. The winner of that, you know, drawing potentially Kinzel.
Yep.
Champion of Region 3 from Liberty Raleigh.
And I think Mitchell Hose there at the quarterfinal potential would be in the C spot if you're looking at your brackets at home.
Yeah.
That's a burner. I think that's a really, really good matchup. Another one of Cameron's flag bearers with Pettit. And you're going to see most of their kids here are either a C1 or an R1. They had a really good regional for those seven coming out, which is interesting because we got to talk about team race eventually and single A wise. Right now, Cameron's looking to score as often as possible.
That definitely helps their case. No, like I said, I think that bottom bracket especially.
It's pretty open.
126, like I said, give me 4 different names. I wouldn't be that surprised.
Right.
Down low, now, like I said, up top, I think Andrick and Jones have separated themselves from the field. But, there's some great wrestlers up top there. Sam Richards from Roan, C.J. Duty, freshman, who I watched some last year, Clayton Robinson. So, there's some good wrestling up top. But
it's just hard Duty comes in as a 4th place in a tough region.
Oh, yeah.
You're in a tough region, you go 4th, and you get Gunnar Andrick out the gate.
Yeah, that's a
tough draw.
Rough draw. It's a rough draw.
Tough draw. So, doesn't matter who you are. It's a tough draw.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you think? Let's go 32, big
32. Yeah, another weight class that I feel fairly wide open. I do think there's a couple here that's separated themselves a little bit. I think Hess and Ours have earned the respect that they've been given throughout the state in terms of coaches and wrestlers.
Yeah. Now, someone I think we need to watch. I don't know how you people at home feel. Braxton Smith. From Nitro, champion of Region 4.
Yep, wrestling really well.
Had been at 38 previously.
Dropped down.
Now at 32. I think that's a guy that you definitely want to watch.
Well, Spitznagel right there
from Fairmont Senior. And that could be a really good quarterfinal matchup there, which you would see on your C spot at home.
Because Spitznagel caught Hess in the region, and Hess obviously, Big Ten Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah.
Wrestling pretty well, lights out all year.
Looking up top, I think the potential of a Moses Gray, Riley Coran quarterfinal, which would be in your B slot, I think that could be an outstanding match should everything play out the way the pill says.
Or who we think's going to win.
Yeah.
Really. And, of course, you got our old friend that we have talked about for 25 years, Thomas Ours.
Yeah.
I think it's just because we knew him from middle school.
He feels like he's been, like I said, I feel like I've been talking about him for like 9 years.
Since 6th grade. I mean, that's a long time. That's 7 years.
Which, to be fair, that could be 7 years for me.
That's 7 years, yeah. No wonder we think Thomas is so old.
Red shirt, gray shirt, he's been through it all.
Yeah, he has. But I think
32.
To me, though, there's only 2 or 3 that can go win it. It's not as wide open as some of the other
those top
ones.
3, I think, all have.
Are good wrestlers,
good opportunities.
I think they're just a little bit above that bracket below them, in an order of tiers. And I think Hess and Ours have carried the flag well for 132 all year.
Yeah,
and I personally think we're going to see it in the finals, which would be a great match.
Oh yeah, well, I agree. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of great matchups, but Braxton Smith, my guy to watch here at 132.
You're picking your pony.
Yeah, picking my pony here. So.
I'll do the same thing later, but I know who I'm picking because I picked him last year too.
All right, 138.
Here's a good one.
Yeah, this is another one by Pill.
It's not the one
by Pill haters.
It's not the one. It's a good one.
Separates. You're 1 and 2. Hamilton and Freeman. Of course, if you got to see this match at WSAZs,
it was a good one.
As a fan, you got cheated because you lost some time there.
Yeah, lost
in the consolation. So should everything play out the way expected, I think Hamilton and Freeman's going to be an outstanding match.
Well, it'd be worth the rematch, but I tell you, they both got to get through some animals.
Yeah, no, it ain't going to go without
There's no
easy
road.
Yeah, they got to show up and wrestle. I mean, looking in the top, you got, like I said, on top of Hamilton, you got Nichols and Leda. That's a great opening round matchup.
Yeah, that's a really good matchup.
You got Blaine Jarvis there in the top part of the bottom quadrant.
Mean Jim Green.
In the bottom part.
Mind you, early in the year, now it was early, and it was right when Ramirez got back. But Green was beating Ramirez when...
Lost on a slam.
Lost on a slam. But I think he was up like 4 or 5, maybe 6 points.
Yeah.
So Green's wrestling really well. Just ran into Freeman there.
Yeah. Well, and that's a tough draw.
Tough draw.
Yeah, tough draw in the
absolutely.
region. So,
but down low, I mean, Blevins and Neely potential there.
Yeah. Well, and I like the Blevins Stewart matchup initially.
Out the gate.
Stewart been ranked previously in the year. That's a good first round matchup. Then you got, like I said, the winner of that matching up with Peyton Neely of Cameron. R1. Again, those situations we just talked about with Freeman Green. You run into a Hoscat, run into a horse in your regions.
It happens.
The guys get crossed. They're separated.
I think both
Yeah.
semifinals will be great, regardless
Yeah, I
of who
think so,
comes
too.
out to there. I think that there's a lot of talent coming out to the semis here, and there's again multiple names you can tell me make it to the semis, and I'm not going to be
Yeah,
surprised.
no, a lot of good depth here. A lot of good wrestlers. So
Yep. But again, kind of like the last weight class, not super wide open, but there's 3-4 names
Yeah.
there that if they finaled and even won it, I'm not going to be shocked whatsoever.
yeah, but up to this point, though, the horses have established themselves. And
Yeah, and there's
I'm excited
it's all based on
yeah,
results.
Yeah, based on results.
You
Like I
beat
said,
people and you
Yeah.
earn those numbers, but
I'm excited for. Of course, we say this every weight class, but I'm excited for them all, though. I mean,
well, the next one.
yeah. Let's get to 45 here.
The next one. And I don't want to pee anybody's Cheerios, so to speak.
Yeah,
But the idea of Barty Judah rematch for the belt,
yeah,
that wins the weekend.
yeah.
That wins the weekend for me. Like I'm going to the
Very
tournament.
well. The most
Giddy.
anticipated matchup across both classes.
I agree. I don't.
Across both
I do
divisions.
not see
Three classes, both divisions. Yeah,
I do not see a bigger final.
Yeah.
Should they both make it, and nothing tells me they won't, based on how they've wrestled this
I
year.
agree.
They've separated themselves. Unbelievable. I mean, a full 6-minute match, similar situation with Hamilton and
Yeah, the fans. We all got shorted a minute. And, losing that minute really changes the match, too. How
it
you game
absolutely
plan,
changes
how
the
you,
match, yeah.
You get that early takedown. That puts you in the driver's seat from the beginning. And, there's just a lot. You really change the way you wrestle, losing that minute sometimes. So,
yeah, the first period's a little more cautious than it
yeah.
normally should be.
yeah.
Because with a 2-minute period, you usually get a little more
Yeah.
aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
But before we could talk about that, like
There's some good matchups
you
here,
got Price
especially
and,
early on.
You got Price and Parsons potential in the semi or quarters, and that's if Parsons and Armistead.
Yeah, that's a great matchup.
That's a great
matchup right off the bat. That's a good Thursday matchup, Big Dan.
That's a great Thursday matchup for sure. I agree. Kanye, there's a name that's been up forever.
Yeah, Kanye and Barty. That's a ranked matchup. One I think to watch that's not been ranked previously to my knowledge. Giannani from Ritchie County winning Region 2, and we've talked before. Region 2 doesn't always get their due diligence and get the credit, but
Yeah, you don't always see him in the rankings, maybe as much as they should be.
no. But I think that's a guy to watch there, and wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he's sitting in the semifinals Friday night.
Yeah, but as far as I think it's a 2-horse race. I do. I think it's Barty and Price. I think they're the two best. And I think you see that from results. You see it in big tournament. I think Price would have been a champion last year. Barty obviously looking for a fourth. I mean, what a storyline.
And one other thing to touch on, too,
you
I
can't
think.
put that in a movie.
No.
What a storyline.
And I meant to say the second year, but up top in that top quadrant, I think looking at it, I think Isaac Harris got to be the favorite coming out of the top.
To come out to the semi.
Coming out of the top quadrant, just looking at that, looking at those pairings. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of good matchups here. But I do think I agree with you as far as
I think the movie finals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it is. It's a movie.
Yeah.
A 3-timer going for 4 versus a kid that feels slighted for not winning his title last year. They met once. It was a 1-point match. Oh, sign me up. See you Saturday night. Now, 152.
Now 152.
This class went from don't worry about it, we know who's going to win, to hey, this is completely wide
got picked
open.
up, turned upside down.
Lots of winners here. Lots of winners.
Lots of winners, and
they all won.
the winner is the fans.
Well, yeah.
I think.
Well,
Look at all the crazy quarterfinal matchups that we can potentially have.
Yeah, if you're not sure what we're talking about, Derek Rake, 152 all year, switches places with Josh William going into regional. So Josh William from Point Pleasant is at 152 instead of Derek Rake, which took this weight class, which was obviously Rake's to lose. And now it's completely wide open. And this, by far, this will be the best quarterfinal round probably of the tournament for any weight class.
Yeah.
I think all 4 quarterfinals are going to be absolute burners. I think the semifinals will be even better than that.
Yeah. Well, and there's a good, really opening round matchup there, too, with Chase Lowe of Word and Logan
Bennett
Bennett
and Braxton.
of Braxton County. That's an outstanding first-round matchup. The winner of that, like I said, looking to match up with Zombro from Berkeley Springs in the A quarter. The B corner, like I said, looking at the way things are expected to play out. Rawson and Childers, that's a good one. Then in your C slot, you got William and Lukaposki. He's been ranked second all year. They're from Oak Glen. Down low, Trenton Bush, and Colton Miller from Independence. Although I think the Miller and Michael matchup is a good one first round as well. So
too.
Whoever should win that. Man, what a quarterfinals!
Yeah, and this is a bracket. You could tell me 5 winners, and I'd be
I
like,
think there's 5 guys that potentially have a chance. It's just going to depend on who shows up ready to wrestle, who has the best tournament,
which is what it's all about. Who
Yep.
has the best weekend?
Yep.
And that's what it's all about. And I think this weight class, more than any of them, personify that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree. All right, this is one, like I said, 52. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be a barn burner, Big Dan.
Burner, man. Now, which takes us to 160.
Yeah, kind of changes things a little bit.
Right,
What we just talked about.
Now where Derek is, and you could pretty much. I'm going to go ahead and say he's going to be wrestling for his 4th state title.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, he's nationally ranked. Ironman placer, Powerade placer.
Yep.
I mean, the kid's done it all.
Yeah,
he's just looking for his 4th title. I don't see anything here that tells me he's still not the elite of the weight class, even though he's bumped up. I don't think he's given up weight by any stretch.
No, I don't think so either.
But, I think he's wrestled some of these kids, too. He's bumped up to 160 a few times.
He's wrestled 60 in some duels.
And he's wrestled some of these kids, and I think he's going to make it on that side. Now, the top half, I mean, there's a lot of different kids, but I think it is Thompson's. Thompson's been one.
He's been one all year.
All year, rightfully so. He finaled last year, losing to Barty. But I think it's going to be a Thompson Rake date in the finals.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, of course. Anything can happen, but
and the one match I'm excited to see is the Baldwin Huffman matchup.
Right there in the quarterfinals.
In the quarterfinals, in the C quarterfinal, I think. Like I said,
Tyler Consolidated has been wrestling well.
Yeah, they have some studs. Man.
They've seen some.
I've been high on them. I've talked about them previously. Tyler Consolidated knows how to wrestle. So, but I think that's one match that really sticks out for me is Huffman and Baldwin. So,
and you got Leg there sitting as the runner-up in 4.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, had the bump not happened, there's a decent chance this kid is the champion of 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of throws a wrench.
Yeah, kind of
change
things around.
It throws a wrench in that quadrant, which means does Leg pull the upset special and get out to the semis?
Which realistically not an upset special. I mean, but you
knock off a champion.
You knock off a regional champion,
that's
but like so that's by the pill standards, yeah. But
by the fact he was the champion,
yeah.
There's 4 champs.
Yeah, there is.
If they lose, I consider that an upset.
But that's a conversation for another day.
We can have it now. I'm game.
Now let's move on to 170 here, Big Dan.
This is another class that had a late entrant in it. Colton Caron of Independence. He's up here
indeed.
now.
Last weekend, got to see 1 versus 2 a little early, which obviously by the pill. Those guys crisscross and they're separated.
They're separated anyways. It doesn't matter.
So,
with Angel and Clark separated.
We may get to see that rematch again.
Could.
But
both got to go through some dudes.
Got some, and that I think this weight class especially, there's a lot of depth in it. I
agree.
I think there's a lot of depth here.
I don't think there's a clear cut.
And there's not a big separation.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it's been proven. These guys have traded blows and they've gone back and forth throughout the year. And there's some interesting first round matchups. I like Caron and Spell. I think is a good matchup right off the bat.
I think you just got to keep your eye on Knight. Knight was kind of late to the dance.
Dylan Knight out of Doddridge has not been wrestling all year. That's a guy that I think is a guy to watch in this weight class. Out of Region 2 was the runner-up.
Burdett and Cruzel.
You got Burdett and Cruzel in the initial round on Thursday night. That could be a good matchup. And then, the winner that's going to draw Region 3 champion. Hanshaw from Nichols County, who's not
who beat Caron.
Yeah, who's not got any
and
love.
Caron and Markham can meet up in the quarters.
Hanshaw's not got any love in the recent rankings. Sam's the champion of Region 2, I don't believe. So you got 2 champions right there that are looking to to really solidify their name, at least as far as to the other coaches and to the other people around the state.
Like
so,
you don't have to rank me. I'm still gonna go win.
Yeah, I'm still gonna. Yeah, that's not gonna change anything.
Exactly.
I'm gonna win my region. So
I'm here to wrestle.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
So I think there's a lot of potential, really good matchups in this weight class. You get that first round win, you set yourself on a nice path. To the podium on
and there's a couple in particular. We're not going to go into every single line of this thing, but there's a couple in particular though. They get the first round win. They're setting themselves up for a really nice weekend and a deep run.
Yep.
Deep run.
Yeah, like I said, this one's going to be a good one. Like you said,
another pretty open weight class.
A lot of good depth there. So
again, I don't think there's a true runaway with the kid, but there is kind of here at 182.
Yeah, and as we've talked before, that's just kind of how
Ian Bush
how things go. I mean, Ian Bush has solidified himself as the front runner,
rightfully so too.
Having an outstanding year.
Had a monster OVAC, good WSAC. Only lost to Gage Wright 3-1.
Wrestled a nice tight match with him. But I think there's a couple guys to watch, especially in the bottom bracket. You got Logan Howe of Winfield, who was the champion of Region 4. Another Tyler Consolidated guy in Sean Winfrey, although he was the runner-up, was to Bush.
Right.
I think that's a guy to take note of. Then you got your Mason Miller from Region 2 from East Harding, Cole Vandal. That's going to be a lot of good quarterfinals. I think Miller Vandal, Winfrey Howe. I think that's some great quarterfinals in that bottom. Interesting matchup is League and Moffitt.
Yeah, I think that's the best opening round matchup in terms. They wrestled early in the year at the Braxton County Invitational. I guess it wasn't super early, but it was pretty early. Seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, it does seem like an eternity.
Legan got the best of them, and Legan was like all the way up to 2 at some point in the rankings. But the winner of that match sets up a real nice draw for themselves. And I think, that Jones and the winner of that match is going to be a really nice quarterfinal as well.
Yeah, I think so.
But all that draws in.
Yeah, another Nichols kind of guy there winning a region. So
all that draws into the giant shadow being cast upon 182.
Yeah, that is Ian Bush. So
he's going to WVU next year.
Had a good conversation with
Kyle
Brackey.
Shout out Kyle Brackey.
Bush. Yeah, big shout out to Kyle. Hopefully
good guy.
We have him back on the show soon. He was one of my favorite guests that we've had.
I think he owes us some stuff.
Yeah. We owe him some stuff. So we'll have to.
We'll get it to him. We'll get it to you, Kyle.
Yeah, we'll get it to you, Kyle. Maybe in Detroit. So let's see here, Big Dan. Let's go to on at least in my initial review. I'm excited for 95. I think
it's a good weight class.
I think there's 3 guys, especially that could win it. I think any of the top 3 in the rankings could go out, and if you told me they won it, I wouldn't be surprised. They've wrestled close matches all year.
Yeah, there's quite a few here that could final. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, with Britton Moore and Conley. Then we're well aware of some of these guys that for example, Ryan Harburger from Moorfield gave Conley fits at the state duels, was beating him, pinned
got pinned with
1 second. So that's someone I think, especially in the bottom bracket, that should be
someone to watch.
Yeah,
him and Miller first round's a good matchup. I think the potential of Conley and Moore in the quarterfinals is tremendous up top.
Hart and Goad.
Fuel Hart and Derringer is a good first round matchup on Thursday night.
Yep.
But
Hart and Goad's a good matchup in the first round there.
I'm gonna have to hitch my wagon to Britton again. Did it last year, and he didn't do me wrong. Kid's wrestling well. Him and Conley had a tremendous finals match. In Region 4. But it's a pretty wide open weight class, top to bottom. Anytime you see a Hart from Independence, you got to assume they can wrestle. Got to assume they can wrestle.
A lot of good potential quarters here. I mean,
and you got Dylan Ayers up there,
champion of Region
top,
1, who's not been around all year. Draws the winner of Derringer, Fuelhart, which
kind of creeping in under the radar.
And I think Derringer and Fuelhart are guys that should really be noted. Guys that aren't ranked. But we've known Fuelhart for years.
He's been in and out for years.
Knows how to wrestle. Big, strong, athletic kid. Derringer, knows how to wrestle. He's Harper trained. So he's going to have those guys ready for the weekend. So I think the winner of that,
especially considering that they're battling for a second place here. Them, Indy, Fairmont Senior.
that could be a quarterfinal matchup right there. That really changes changes the swing of things. I mean,
Yeah, a lot of
depending on-
things.
yeah,
For sure.
But no, 195 is going to be a good weight class to see. I'm excited for that. So
I agree. Good weight class. Very good weight class.
well, 220, Big Dan. What sticks out to you most here? Anything in particular?
The monster quarterfinal at the bottom.
Yeah, we'll talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
we
Casto
know what
Price.
it is. Yeah, Casto Price.
Tremendous quarterfinal matchup.
Which, if you're wondering how we got here,
Trey Ollinger.
Trey Ollinger from
Trey
Omaha
Ollinger.
wrestled
Had
an outstanding
great
regional tournament, winning region 4 220.
Beating Price and Worstel on his way to the title, which sets up
chain wrestler of the week.
Yeah, which sets up a Goodson Worstel quarterfinal as well, which is just a monster.
Now, a matchup I'll see that kind of catches my eye is Hauser Huffman.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate. One of those situations where that fourth place isn't a normal fourth place kid.
No.
Because Region 4's 220
They're
was
deep. In that. Yeah,
it was
very deep. Yeah, so that'll be a good one. Like I said, there's some good matchups here, but ultimately that quarterfinal in the C slot I think is going to be well worth the price of admission.
Oh yeah, and I can see, and this is another weight class, I can see 4 or 5 different kids winning it easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it wouldn't shock me too much about whichever name you threw at me. You take a kid like Goodson, such a big, strong kid.
Yeah, crazy athlete.
Just starting
all-state
to
football player.
Yeah.
Just getting his feet under him, and
I think a kid like him, starting to get into a little bit of momentum, starting to roll a little bit. He's trouble. You know, he can get hot, do something. Hauser's been here before.
Yeah.
We already mentioned how good Huffman. Ollinger's obviously wrestling really well right now.
He's hot right now. So
yeah, it's just who's going to wrestle the best. That's another weight class is who's going to wrestle the best, which is ultimately what you want.
Yeah. Well, and that's a lot of times who the state champion is who got hot.
Yep.
A lot of times we've seen.
We've
guys
seen
that may
it
not
before.
necessarily be the best wrestler.
Ritchie County was 113 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Can't think of his name off the top of my head. Came out of nowhere.
Lehman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Outstanding wrestler. Just pinned his way through, I believe.
Oh yeah, just as a beast.
Yeah.
And
Ethan Hardy last year, which still have my doubts as to whether I think he should have been ranked higher, but by the rankings, by virtue of everything, he outstanding weekend was most outstanding
Shocked
wrestler of the
people,
tournament. Yeah,
yeah.
shocked people, quote unquote. But they're in the Panhandle. They don't always. Everyone over this way doesn't see them, and vice versa. So a lot of times, like I said, the rankings got to be taken with a grain of salt, anyways.
Absolutely.
So
the final rankings come out next Saturday night.
Yeah.
If you're wondering,
yeah.
that's when they come out.
All right, and the last one, Big Dan, 285.
The big fella's my favorite. Now this one again, pretty well open because 1 and 2's beating each other back and forth. The kid that's currently 3, Weaver, he started the year very slow and then has just taken off here lately. You still got Dalen Riley looming. Him and Morris wrestle first round, which is a really
That's
good
a good first round matchup.
Cameron's heavyweight, Brian, wrestled really well in Region 1, became champion. Don't forget that you got Helm and Ism.
Rematch from last year.
Yeah, exact same spot, too, I think. I think they were in the same the same 2 lines. I think they were line 15 and 16, I swear. Man. It's crazy. Go look. I think they were line 15 and 16.
But, in the winner of that, drawing McLaughlin, from Braxton. So there's some good matchups here.
Really good matchups. And again, you could probably give me about 3-4 kids here because Burnside's been around forever, wrestled well most of his career. Him and Atkinson meet in the quarterfinals if things go as planned for them. I mean, it's just a really good.
That's a good heavyweight weight class.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they're athletic kids.
Yeah, they can all wrestle.
There's only one there.
They're crazy.
There's only one there that I think is a true giant, and it's Weaver.
He is indeed.
But he's a really athletic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Built giant, but he's the closest one to probably 285.
Probably, I'd say so. Yeah.
Most of them are probably around the 250, 260
Yeah, I was gonna say 240.
I don't think Atkinson's even that big.
I don't know. He's a big old boy.
He's
but I don't
tall,
know. But he's very athletic. Crazy athlete.
Yeah. Oh, he's very athletic.
But like I said, there's a lot of athleticism here. So, and kind of Zach Frazier, I think, really set the tone for the modern West Virginia heavyweight. Yeah.
Yeah, new heavyweight. That's it. That's exciting. We've kind of touched on team race. But, Point Pleasant's probably.
I think Point Pleasant's the favorite.
They took 14. That's pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, and, single A, looking at the pill, and then I think Cameron is the favorite in single A.
Nothing's told me anything otherwise all year.
But with that being said, I think both divisions, I think 2, 3, 4.
tight.
could be very
No,
interesting.
they're all gonna be tight.
You know,
yeah.
you got Fairmont Senior and Hoover and Indy in the AA. Single A, you got Greenbrier West
Tyler
and Tyler Consolidated. And, you know, someone else that we've not really seen just by virtue of the pill, because I've not done any math yet. There may be somebody else that could sneak their head in there.
Make some noise.
And make some noise.
That's the whole point of the weekend.
Yeah, so.
Well, we appreciate everybody joining us. We look forward to seeing you. We'll be back here very soon to drop the AAA bracketology at you. But until then, I'm Daniel Tinge.
And I'm Zach Sayre.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
See you guys later.